Everybody knows about Husband Hotel. Everybody talks about Husband Hotel. I have a friend who says that it's a piece of art, and another that recommends the show to everybody, she says. And, well, who am I to judge being a person who waited for that show since 2018, was it? You got my point, Husband is on hype, so why don't I use it? Good morning, everyone. I thought for a long time why exactly I like that show and what aspect of it I can make into an interesting video, because let me be honest with you, I am not a fan of its story because sometimes it just felt like a kids show that tries to look adult by joking dirty. Please don't hate. And yet, I enjoyed it, and part of it was the songs. Come on, I'm writing this script to this video, listening to a "You a loser, baby, a loser, do 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 do" on repeat. But me, the person who knows literally nothing about music, making a whole video on that topic? Oh no, that just sounds funny. But there's other aspect of this show that I really liked and which I also appear to be well educated on. And this thing is character design. Hi people, this is the disclaimer of that video. I just wanted to tell you that even though there is a specific technique that you can use for design being a success, it's all subjective at the end, and as I am not a creator of that show, I cannot say for sure why that specific part of the design was used. So, please don't hate if you disagree with something. Is husband characters well designed? Can we understand who they are by just how they look? Do their appearance work on their purpose? What theories we can come up with just from how they designed? Let's not wait for more and answer those questions, starting with people's, I mean my favorite, Nifty. She's hell crazy, and we love crazy characters, and if you don't, what are you doing here? When it comes to craziness, there's a couple of methods we can use to show that in a design, like depicting characters messy or symmetrical to show instability of their mind. But for Nifty, it will not work as she hates the mess and everything related to that. So instead, her design works on a contrast. She's small and cute and innocent, exactly those traits we expect from a little child who will stab you in your guts the second lights go off. The difference between her behavior and looks creates an uncanny valley effect, which tells us there is obviously something wrong there. This method is often used in anime, like in Hiragashi when they cry. And as we the pop consider it Nifty to have Japanese origins, I think it might be a reference to that genre. Also, some speculations say that she's got to hell because she killed her husband after he cheated on her, following a yandere trope which works on the same contrast, and some bloodstains on her clothes can support that theory, as they might be a reminder of his blood. Well, it was announced that in the second season we will get some backstories of husbands, so the only way to know for sure is to wait. Talking about clothing, as she is a maid, it's a great thing that they added an apron to her final design, connecting to her duties, and the poodle design on her skirt is a reference to a popular 15 skirt pattern in US. But I am still sad that we lost her insane design from Zootopia, where many husbands' design originate, even if it doesn't work on her character due to the absence of things I talked about. I'm still sad about that, just look at it. She's so cute. Something I forgot to say is that her having a big eye, why my word is trying to tell me that humans usually have two eyes. Thank you, I know, she's not a human, she's a doll. So, her having a big eye, a face feature we consider the most expressive, also can make people think that she is crazy, as too much emotions can be considered weird and uncomfortable, same as showing her energetic side. Following my favorites, there is my friend's one, Angel Dust. A jumping spider-inspired character of course will have a spider-like appearance with 8 thin limbs and sometimes even a butt. And of course, just as the inspiration, Angel is flexible and energetic. And because Angel is so flexible and energetic, his design is based on triangles, as this shape is the best to show flow and movement. And same is actually for many characters in the show, as many of them are energetic and for the fast-paced musical sake, of course. Originally, Angel was created for another Vixie's Noir project and had more masculine design, but when she decided to move him to Husband Hotel, she also developed his design, taking as an inspiration drag and cross-dressing, which then determined Angel's new career in porn and preferences in more feminine pink clothes. Another interesting thing about Angel design is his eyes, which are two different colors, and here comes theory number 2. Eye colors are a symbol of ownership. As Valentino has Angel's eyes quite literally only on the filming set, he has just one eye black. And it makes sense in the case of Husk, for example, as he is owned by Alistair, or in case of Radio Demon himself, when we see him in a true owned form. But what about Nifty? Well, the second part of the theory says that red eye means that you own someone. And there is another theory which suggests that Nifty, same as Husk, was an overlord, based on overlords seen in Pilot. Perhaps maybe Nifty did not lose her red eyes as she still owns someone. Or is it just her capillaries? Moving from one friend's path to another. Husk! A gambler, a drinker, a man who don't want to be here. Just as my friend said, a demon we all can relate to. And the design answers that perfectly. He has settled, not expressive compared to other characters' appearance, same as clothing resembling the bartender of 1970s, and hardcore suit all over his body with roulette pattern on his wings. Fuck, that man even fights with cards! You know? I have a thing for people who fight with cards. A proposition, maybe a game of poker? What did you think I was talking about? Apart of the way of death and genetics, which we can see in the fact that all Angel's family members look like spiders, there is another factor that goes into Sinu's appearance. They all have one thing that they dislike in it, and that is extremely visible in Husk's cat-like appearance, as it's the animal he hates. The only question is, why cannibals look like humans? Aren't they cannibals because they love humans? This video will get 18 plus for sure. I'm sorry, I'm so fucking sorry. I actually really like the fact that cannibals are a bunch of human-looking demons in Edwardian-ish clothing. I mean, that's exactly how I imagined those times. JK, I know it was much worse. Being all serious, there's many cases of mass cannibalism in the UK and US in 18s, 19s, and not as much in 20s, but still centuries, and that might be a reference to that. Speaking of cannibals, let's talk about Mr. Red Flag. Even though it was mentioned that Alistair wasn't a cannibal while alive, there is a huge connection between them. Not in just his friendly relationship with Rosie, but also an inspiration for his demon form. Cold, freezing winter air, in a forest that seemed to lure you inside with no way out. You're out of your ration. The hunger hits, and he is a creature with open human ribcage and organs picking, and blood dripping from his dear skeleton head. A Wendigo. It is. A creature from Algonquin folklore that resembles a feeling of deadly cold and hunger. The legend said that if a human being tastes a meat of his own kind, the Wendigo spirit will possess him. Alistair is not just a deer, but a Wendigo. He has a special kind of hunger for killing, and, as we will understand later through the series, for freedom. We also know that he was shot to death by a hunter as he mistook Alistair with a deer, which is quite ironic, I guess. Another inspiration for a radio demon is of course an invention of Marconi. Alistair has a great looking suit that was worn by radio people at the times when he died, that showed the privilege of that job, which Alistair had while he was alive. And as we know from Sir Pension's and Alistair dialogue, the teared up bottom of the suit is a showcase that no matter who he fought, no one did him more harm than just damage a small bit of his clothing, which represents Alistair as a really strong demon that has his pride in his killing and shows his serial killer maniac nature. The red color of the suit has the same effect as human beings often associate this color with blood, anger, violence, and danger. Another important part of Radio Demon's design is his cane microphone. While designing Alistair, Wivesy thought of it as a living part of him, without which he will not be able to talk. As we know, it's not the case now, but to show the living start of that cane, there is a small eye on it, which we can associate with life, or with a symbol of power if you wish. His scene appearance is based on snakes, especially on cobras, having their hood and similar color palette, same as snake tail, fangs, tongue, and all other snake-inspired elements. The other element that is dominant in his design but not as snake connected is red eyes all over his body, which can be a resemblance of his hypnosis abilities, but I think that it connects with his want to have more power, as eyes is one of the most common association for that. There is actually a lot of eye theme going on in Husband Hotel, as they can be symbolic for humans in many ways based on culture and times. Resemblance of soul, power, insanity. This list continues. Same as with Alistair, Bob thought about making Simpencha's head as a living part of his, and I guess same as with Alistair, it's not that thing in actual series, but as a reminder of the early development stages, there is a big eye on that head too, just like on Alistair's mic. Just as Pencha's name, his clothing reminds about him being a high-class British in 19th centuries. You know, the times that steampunk was based on, connecting to his obsession and talent in making new mechanical inventions. In his angel form, Sir Penchas has whiter and more pastel color palette, just as all other angels have, showing their holiness, I guess. His design is more settled and less aggressive, as now there's no red eyes there, which added to his hellish appearance. And I actually have one really lovely theory from my friend that I want to share with you. Sir Penchas have hearts on his angel design because he got there almost after his true love kiss and still was under romantic emotions when he got there, which affected on his appearance. Wait, I haven't talked about Morning Stars yet. Let's change it. They both have similar face features that show that they are family, like red round cheeks, face color and shape. They also both have apple motifs connecting to Eve's and Adam's story. Lucifer has more clear apple motif on the head and cane, while Charlie has her apple-shaped eyes. It's not me having hallucinations. It's an official theory that Charlie has apple-shaped eyes. Charlie also wears a suit with the similar elements her dad's suit has, showing that even though they aren't close, she still thinks about him and feels warmly about him. Or maybe it's the other way around, because, yeah, Lucifer is in depression, he will do every shit to get close to his daughter. One of the most interesting elements in Lucifer's design is his hat, that has a crown and important thing for a house king and a snake around it, which also connect to the Eve's apple story and gives away one of his forms. This all make it clear for the viewers that he's the Lucifer, or so I thought. Before making this video, I asked my friends that did not see Husband Hotel yet, and well, just one of them could guess that Lucifer is the Lucifer. Even with all my hands like, look on the head. Maybe the snake and the apple can be a connection. Don't you think like that? But what about Lily? Well, we do not see her enough for me to make any notes about that Charlie got her head from her. But it doesn't mean that the community did not find anything interesting about her design. You see, there's a theory that every time we see Lilith with the pearl necklace, this is the actual Lilith. And when we see her with any other accessory, it's Eve. Or Lilith is just a really cruel person that went back to her ex and betrayed him again. Poor Adam. He deserved that. We also never see her eyes, which can foreshadow a plot twist that she is either owned or owns someone, for example. Alistair. But that is just a theory. Now let's talk about Waggy. From the times of Pilot, fans speculated that she is one of the exterminators due to her similar to them color palette and of course eye patch in X shape. At those old times she wasn't planned as an angel, and yet creators took fan theory as a sign that her design is more successful as an angel's one than a Moss Demon one. Yes, Waggy was a Moss Demon on the start, just like Valentino. She is quite grumpy and serious, just as her monochrome boring color palette suggests, and yet she does not get lost in the colorful designs of other characters because of the pink X patch. This also makes people to focus on it more and think that it is somehow important for the plot or character development arc. This was a mistake in a pilot, but now it's a great hint. Maybe too of a great one. And now I need to ask you a very serious question. Do you enjoy Ghost aesthetic? If yes, then just know we lost it in Vaggie. This is her first design, and as a person who was Gothic Lolita for a while, I like it better. It's less successful to represent the character, but I just like it more. Finishing with husbands is Overlord's turn, starting with other character that is speculated to be an ex-angel, Carmilla. A hot, confident Spanish woman. Oh yes, we all love that. Especially I like the sound of castañas on the start of her love song. Yes, that was hot. Oh, wait, we're not talking about music, we are talking about designs. Yeah, sure, yes, yeah. Many people think that she is also an angel, just like Waggy, because of her hairstyle, which copies Exterminator's one and black and white color palette. But another reason she might have similar to Exterminator's design is her seriousness and dedication to her job, same as loyalty to the one she loves. If we're going to think, that is the traits that both Waggy and Lute have. I also like that her clothing design is inspired by ballet, showing the graceful way she fights as if she's dancing. I think that was also made for a musical sake, especially for this song. I don't remember how it's called, sorry. Talking about angels, I found an interesting theory about Adam. First theory suggests that his skin is grey to show that after all, roles are not black and white and it's all in him. Also, many people were shocked that he did not look too evil unmasked. But I think that it's an obvious thing that he wasn't. As all humans are flawed, and it's a resemblance that everybody can be on his place. But overall, his design is just like other angels, gold and white robes. Angels. Oh, by the way, did you catch that Adam was still alive? Like, before Nifty killed him, of course. I mean, it is just a theory, but he's the only character that has ears. No other sinners or winners have human-like ears, but as we know from Hell of a Boss, humans do have ears. So maybe I will leave it for the shower thought. But how does that theory explains that Adam has gold blood and not the red one? I have no idea. Maybe he has it because he was originally from heaven. I really don't know. Going back to Overlords, we have the ones that we don't know much about. Zazie, Zestial, and Ignis Fatuus. If I forgot someone, it means that they are not relevant at all. Zazie has dinosaur-like appearance with 17's vibe, and that is all that I can say about her. no relevance to her personality or role because there is none. Maybe she was a popular singer in her times, and this is how she got her overlord position, as many of them represent some kind of influence media. I don't know. Nobody knows. And if you do, please let me know. I am dying to know. Okay. No, that was a lie, but comments boost the video, so please do. Anyway, there is much more things that we can say about Zestial than about her. He's the oldest from the Overlords, and I can say for sure that he gives away that Oji-san vibes, but I really don't know why. Maybe it's because vampire cape and vampires are old. Maybe it's because of his rugged looking head that represents how old he is. I don't know. By the way, why is there no demons that died before 19th century? I mean, it can be that before that times all human beings were saints. There was a whole Anyway, Vestial is a spider-inspired demon with a dark color palette and glowy yellow-green parts, which connect to a typical poisonous and villain colors, making him look hellish. And as many people have arachnophobia, it's a cool detail that even demons are afraid of him, like to death. And of course, there is a demon that I called Foolish Fire. Let's just think that he choked on a gas and go past him, as there is literally no info on him. And that leaves us with Vase, starting with Vox. Oh, poor Vox. Sorry, it's just that you remember that I did question some people about characters, like one of the most important questions was, who do you think is this demon? Is it just a sinner or an overlord? And nobody got it right for Vox. Everybody thought that he was a pope. It's actually quite interesting for me, as in my opinion he was more intimidating than Destial, but maybe it's because I have problems with understanding how does those things that humans call phones and computers work. At least everybody got his field of activity correctly. I don't even know how they did it. Maybe the big screen and blue color palette that we associate with technologies gave it away, but I'm not sure. His design being prevalently blue is also a visual opposition to Alistair because, as we know, Vox and Radio Demon are nemesis. Also, we know that Vox can update his appearance, as on his old photo he had older screen type as his head. In difference to Vox, mostly everyone who I asked were able to tell that Valentino is an overlord and even what type of media he produces. I guess this is because of his look that is inspired by pimp, stereotypical clothing, and heart motifs in his design. And as Valentino is a most inspired demon, apart of the wings and the fuzz, he also has an ability to hypnotize people with a poisonous smoke, which I guess represents pheromones, as most in real life can do that too. And there is Velvet. To be honest, I feel sorry for her to be in a group with such a bottoms. Just as her name suggests, she has many reddish furs in her clothing and has overall posh looking with some ghost-inspired elements appearance. It is speculated that she was a fashionista social media influencer in her life and continued with that in her hell life because of her internet obsession, and her appearance totally fits that, as it shows her love to fashion and looks modern in contrast to many other has-been characters. Her pilot design was much more childish and had less gauze and more gothic Lolita influence, looking less modern, and I guess the new one fits her role much better as she resembles a more mature influencer type. With that, this video ends, and I hope that I did not miss anything because there's much more information in comparison to any of my other videos. There's a lot of characters in Has-Been Hotel, so if I did miss something really important or not so important, or you're just interested or you just want to share something interesting with me, or maybe you have an idea for the future video that I can make, something that you will be interesting to hear from me, write it in the comments. I hope you liked that video, and thank you very much. Goodbye, have a nice day. So instead of that, her design works on contrast. Yay, juxtaposition. Favorite word of GCSE students. I have flashbacks. Fuck. We already not learning in school. Then why do I have flashbacks? There's another factor that go into Cindy's appearance. They all have one thing that they dislike in it. That's hell, after all, they need to suffer, because right now it seems more like a heaven to me. A creature from Algonquian? A creature from Algonquian? Algonquian?
Algonquin.
What?
Algonquin.
Algonquin?
Algonquin. Algonquin. Algonquin.
Is it even a word? Having the hood and similar colored palette, same as Snaketail, Fangs, and the snake's long nails? Pardon, nails? Snaketail. Wait, they have like kind of claws on the back of their tail?